welcome to your dynamic warm-up. This is going to be 5 minutes of work with 5 exercises. Jess, since you already have shoes in hand, let's go ahead and do those forward arm circles. Bringing those arms out to a T, nice and straight. We're going to go ahead, rotate forward, really opening up those chest muscles and shoulders with a wide range of motion. Then 30 seconds later, we're going to flip it and reverse it. We've got 30 seconds of a reverse arm circle, trying to match that same range of motion. Go ahead, put those shoes down. Next up, we have 1 minute of a squat to overhead raise. So Jess is going to be using a towel. You can use whatever's at home with you. Feet hip width apart, those toes facing forward, a nice soft bend in the knees, chest nice and tall. We'll be heavy in those heels as we drop into our squat, bringing those arms overhead, back staying nice and straight the entire way through. Options, you can always reduce your range of motion on either of the 2 movements. Let's go ahead, put that towel away. Next up, we have 1 minute of a Cossack squat, or an alternating lateral lunge. So our feet are wider than hip width here. Our toes are still facing forward, chest nice and tall. We're going to go ahead and lunge to our left-hand side first, or stage left. And we're going to go ahead and alternate from side to side. Back stays nice and straight, that weight distribution mid-foot to heel. You can always reduce your range of motion if you need to. Next up, we got some seal jacks. So go ahead, come out of that position. We got 1 minute. We're going to go ahead and bring those arms out to a T, popping those feet out nice and wide. A little bit of explosive movement to elevate that heart rate. Options, you can always walk it out and walk it back in. We're going to bring it down to that high plank position for 1 minute of a wide mountain climber. So head to heel, one straight line, hands stacked underneath the shoulders, feet hip width apart. We're going to bring that right foot to the outside of that right hand, really getting that full range of motion in the hips and alternate sides. Options, use whatever range of motion is available to you. Now, go ahead and get started.
time for a total body endurance block. This block is designed to improve your body's functionality in your overall life. It's a total of 6 exercises. Your first 3 exercises will be lower body focused. 30 seconds rest, 3 exercises focused on core, 30 seconds rest. John, are you ready to get started?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Grab that suitcase or household item. You're gonna pull it overhead, keeping those biceps by your temples. We're gonna step back on that rear toe, keeping the body in line, sinking into that lunge. Nice and controlled. Your option, you could remove your household item or limit your range of motion. Second exercise, we're gonna start with those elbows by the rib cage, standing set position, soft bend in the knees, curling up to the chest, keeping the suitcase there, sinking into that squat, weight heavy in the heels. Your option, remove your household item or choose something lighter, 20 reps. Third exercise, we're gonna get into that plank set position. So John's going to stack those palms underneath his elbows, open up those feet a little wider to stabilize those hips through this movement. We're gonna pull that item behind across that body, avoiding swinging through those hips. Your option, you can come to the knees, 20 total reps, 1 round, 30 seconds rest. Moving on to our core exercises, we're gonna get on the glutes here, feet are hip width, sinking those heels into the ground. We're gonna twist across that torso for the obliques, gaze follow that item, nice and slow and controlled. 20 total reps. Moving on to our side plank. We're gonna stack that elbow underneath the shoulder, heels aligned, nice straight line down that body. We're gonna pull that arm overhead, elbow comes to meet the knee in the middle, engaging those obliques, slow and controlled. Your option, bend that bottom knee. 10 on each side of the body, 20 total reps. Our last exercise is the swimmers. So John, I'm gonna have you lie on your stomach. Perfect. Think about lengthening through your body, nice and long. Pulsing through the shoulders and the glutes, slowly lifting that heel, opposite arm, opposite heel, 20 total reps. So remember, this is 6 exercises on repeat. Let's get to work.
pass, I can't you just see how far away that we are from each other? Without flow, there'll never ever be something that you could really treasure. And treasure it could, I hope you will. Across that heart of yours, what you waiting for? 'Cause I wanna be your lady. Unlock that heart of yours. You don't have to be alone. Run away from yet another. Before you get the chance to see what we could really do for each other, and we really could do something good. Across that heart of yours, what you waiting for? 'Cause I wanna be your lady. Unlock that heart of yours. You don't have to be alone. You don't have to step out on your own. You don't have to be alone. You don't have to step out on your own. You don't have to be alone. You hide away your heart undercover. The sooner you discover it's true, for sure there will be stormy weather. But the weather will pass, I can't you just see how far away that we are from each other? Without flow, there'll never ever be something that you could really treasure. And treasure it could, I hope you will. Across that heart of yours, what you waiting for? 'Cause I wanna be your lady. Unlock that heart of yours. You don't have to be alone. a sense of wonder. A tide pulls from within her, it pulls you in. Night moves in and you're both under, so close you breathe her in. A whisper, no space between. Open your eyes, see that.
This cardio block's all about power. With Power Days, it's all about peaks and valleys, and we're kind of experiencing peaks and valleys right now. So this is kind of like chasing your kid around the house and being able to recover. We're really trying to increase the heart's efficiency. So with that being said, we do have a Tabata style block. 8 total rounds, 20 seconds of work to 10 seconds of rest. Julia, we're gonna be doing those high knees. So we're gonna try to make it look like an all out right here. We're going in 3, 2, 1, all out. Seeing her pump those knees, keeping those arms pumping, really getting it going, and then recover. Options here, we can always march in place. So keeping that knee nice and tall, very nice. You guys have 8 rounds here. Go ahead, get started.
Then you told me stay, don't worry, be strong, come along, be with me. It's not too late to change, don't worry, be strong, come along, be with me. I'm feeling like a flame, and I wanna be the flame in your fire. I'm feeling like a flame, and I wanna be the flame in your fire. I'm feeling like a I've begun to grow, and now I know you're the one for me. And I've been known to give in too easily before, but I know I feel something I've never felt before. Then you told me stay, don't worry, be strong, come along, be with me. It's not too late to change, don't worry, be strong, come along, be with me. I'm feeling like a flame, and I wanna be the flame in your fire. I'm feeling like a flame, and I wanna be the flame in your fire. I'm feeling like a flame, and I wanna be the flame in your fire. I'm feeling like a flame, and I wanna be the flame in your fire. I'm feeling like a flame, and I wanna be the flame in your fire. I'm feeling like a flame, and I wanna be the flame in your fire. Let's burn it down. And I wanna be the flame in your fire. I'm feeling like a flame, and I wanna be the flame in your fire. Let's burn it down. Let's burn
You've worked hard to this point, but what's equally important is the flexibility block. With this one, primarily, we're gonna be working the posterior chain, those hamstrings, glutes, and lower back. Our focus here is to make sure that we reduce injury, especially hunching our shoulders over, hitting next episode on our favorite streaming service. We have 4 movements that we're gonna hold for 20 seconds each. Em, you ready to do this? Oh, yeah. All right, we're gonna start things off with our standing overhead side reach. We're gonna bring our arms overhead. We're gonna grab that wrist, nice deep breath, leaning to our left side to start off, working the lats and the obliques. As we get a little bit deeper into that stretch, each inhale on the exhalation, we're gonna see if we can get a millimeter further into that. Now, whatever range of motion is available to you, use that. Then we're gonna go ahead and switch sides. Nice deep breath, chest nice and tall. And let's come back to that starting position. Next up, we have our standing toe reach. Nice deep breath, feet together, shoulders back nice and proud. We're gonna hinge from the waist, keeping that chest nice and tall, reaching for those toes. Working primarily with our hamstrings, glutes, a little bit with the lower back here. Now, Emily has ridiculous flexibility. You may not have that available to you. So you can always go to the calves, maybe behind the knees. Again, whatever's available to you at that moment. Very nice. Let's go ahead, walk those hands out to a high plank. We're gonna get ourselves ready for a downward dog. We're gonna start from our high plank position, walk the hands back just a little bit, pressing through the hands, raising those glutes in the air. Legs are straight to really emphasize that stretch on the hamstrings. And for an added benefit on the calves, we're gonna add a running addition to it, alternating, bending each knee. Nice, slow, and controlled here. Last but not least, we have a runner's lunge with a rotation. We're gonna step one foot out nice and wide, dropping that back knee down to the ground. We're gonna bring both hands down to the inside of that right leg, pressing that elbow into the right knee. We're gonna reach up with our left hand, reaching for the sky. This is gonna work the thoracic spine, really making sure we keep it nice and safe. Holding it for 20 seconds, bringing it back down, and then switch sides. You have 4 exercises, 20-second hold for each. Go ahead and cool down, you've earned it.